seems like he was made in a lab to annoy me.
But we all were made in a lab to annoy you, Connor.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no, everyone is like.
Yep.
You are the main character in everybody's life. So
Yeah.
we were all created to annoy you.
Is that how
and
it works?
just you.
Yeah.
Way to give me fucking like main character syndrome. That's
Do you want
good,
main
isn't
character syndrome or something?
it? Oh.
Welcome to episode.
Episode 9 of the Roll With It
Is it
podcast.
9? It's fucking 9.
It's
isn't
9.
it?
is
That's why I
9.
paused because I was like, wait, is it 9 or
Is
is
it
it 8 or is
episode-
it 10 or where are we?
It is number 9. Les Neuf.
We are coming to you, quote unquote, live from the basement in the Variety Bar. This
Yep.
lovely high-tech bunker for all the lovely recording and gubbings that we need to
Yep.
bring the Roleplaying podcast to you.
And padded walls.
And padded walls.
Padded walls.
Padded
Yep.
walls.
And we have 2 guests today.
We do.
We have 2 guests.
2 guests.
We have the latest employee of Variety Bar, Fanny.
Yes. A round of applause for Fanny.
Yep, round of applause. Thanks, Fanny.
She's very quiet. You won't be able to hear her,
Yeah.
but she's fabulous.
Yeah,
Doing a great job keeping us cool.
yeah, definitely. But our more important guest,
Yes. Who have we got?
Nifty! Even more quiet than Fanny.
I was waiting to be introduced. I was waiting for the welcome to the stage.
Oh well, I
Yeah.
know. Well, I mean, you're too good at your own intro and your own sort of sense
Absolutely.
of sort of grandeur. I was like, I'm gonna lay the red carpet out for yourself, Rich.
Very well. Hi, my name's Rich.
You're
Hi,
Fanny
Rich.
Laura.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
We like Rich.
Yeah. Well, we do. That's
do.
why he's
That's
here.
why he's here.
Yeah.
I'm slightly sad I got a smaller round of applause than for the.
Oh
air
wait,
conditioner.
sorry.
There we go.
Yay!
This doesn't feel earned.
And,
It's well earned,
in
definitely.
Fanny's defence, the last time we were down here, we were like, it was disgustingly
Oh,
hot.
yeah.
We were so close to death, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was really, 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 really warm.
It
Wait,
was.
who's
But-
we? Because we've not introduced ourselves yet
Indeed.
either.
Well, you know, the dulcet tones of this bespectacled man is, of course, Connor, one of the co-owners of Roleplaying. I'm still here and my eyesight's back. Hooray!
Hooray.
Woo! Who's sitting right next to me?
Laura, Saint of Rolia.
Domine.
Amazing.
I am the East Coast variant of the Greg Squared, Greg C.
And I am the West Coast variant. I'm going to put this out there. Executive producer of this podcast, Greg W.
The more contagious of the two
I gave
variants.
myself a promotion.
He really is like it is like gravitational pull.
Bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
In that
It just-
good kind of way.
yeah, like charisma out the wazoo, just where it creates this like black hole of vibe. Yeah,
I just basically did what Pam did in the office. It's like, I saw a title and I'm just taking it.
That's it.
pretty much.
Valid.
Either
Yeah.
tell me I don't have the job, or let me do my job.
Let me
But
do my
let me do
job.
it.
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. But yeah, as we say, we have Rich,
Yay!
who's a
Better,
wonderful
better.
YouTube creator, a wonderful YouTube creator of many of TTRPG delights.
Absolutely.
Recent visitor and creator at Paisley's Fantasy Con, which was a wonderful wee video. I loved that. I watched it at the weekend. It was very
Well
good. But yeah, so we have Rich on the show today, and as always, we're going to start with our Nat 1s, Nat 20s of the week,
Oh,
which
dear.
is any sort of real life things that would sit on the Nat 1 night.
We can give you a
stream.
minute to think, Rich, because I believe Connor has a good one.
Yeah.
He's chomping at the bit.
It's not so much chomping.
And Laura has
No.
got
It's-
instant regret on this
it's
one.
fully chomping at the bit.
It's, aye. Okay, so I was at a wedding at the weekend. Me and Laura were at a wedding at the weekend.
It was lovely.
It was lovely. It was great. My pals got married.
Congratulations, Chris and Kirsty.
Congratulations, Kirsty. A lifetime of happiness and a long and loving marriage to the both of you. They already
get
know
2
this,
weeks.
and I'm so sorry. Fuck off, Greg. Got married in Auchincastle in Moffat. It was awesome. Me and Laura drove down for it. It was a fantastic, fantastic day. You know, as soon as you get there, it's a Scottish wedding. You're drinking as soon as you arrive on the
Pretty
scene.
much.
That's just what's happening. So we
Yeah.
get there. Where's the bar? Excellent. Straight away. Ceremony's going to start kicking off at 1. Beautiful humanist ceremony, which are my favourite ones, where it's all about the couple themselves, and you don't bring the big man
Yeah.
into it too much. And then I encountered a problem.
Uh-huh.
So they're going on and on and on, and they'd written all their own vows, which is lovely, and they were saying some really heartfelt, beautiful stuff. Now, my pal Chris that got married, he's a bit of a joker, so this is a man that is as unserious as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
So see when he did the complete 180 and gave these really serious, loving, heartfelt vows, not a dry eye in the house.
Oh, that's nice.
Even his wife was like, "You bastard, I thought you were going to go funny and you've went really nice." So I'm sitting there and he's halfway through his vows, and there were some bit of talking like, I need to go to the toilet.
Oh, Connor.
I was like, I'm going to pinch it. I'll be all right. I'll be fine. Right, it's going to be fine. And then, but like as I said, they've written all their own vows, so there's no really a time limit, especially when you've got a humanist
Yep.
bigging up the kind of the couple and stuff and that. And she was great, and it was a beautiful ceremony. But I'm sitting there, and I'm like that, and me and Laura are in the back right corner, the back row,
Yeah.
and I'm like that. So I'm crossing my legs. I'm trying to suffer in silence, and Laura's looking at me, you know, the way she does when she's like, "What the fuck are you? What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "No, it's fine." Then
You'll need to elaborate that look, because that's like just her face.
her default sort of setting where she was very concerned about what was happening to me, but the vows were going on and on and on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, okay, I'm suffering in silence, but it's getting a bit bad now. And then it was Kirsty's turn to do the vows, and then she starts going, "Oh, for fuck's sake." And it's a beautiful ceremony, so they're stopping to pause and dry their eyes and cry and all that kind of stuff, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. I'm having to pinch myself in the leg, inside the leg, lads. Anything to take my mind off it, to the point where it gets to the point where I'm like, oh no, we've all been there, right? I know everybody's needed a pish in their life. I'm not going to fucking talk down to you. And I was proper, like, it was sore. So I'm crying because my pal's getting married and I love him, and I'm useless at weddings.
Yeah.
Like, I just burst out into tears. I love love. I can't help it. My bladder's sore because I'm having to hold it, and I'm mortified because I am, like, visibly and now quite noisily needing a piss. So 3 of the folk that work in the pub with me are the rest of they're taking the seats up to the aisle. I'm like, you need to move.
Oh wait, was it Hughes?
Yes. So like,
Oh,
no. So you need to move, and you go for a piss, and they're like, you cannot get up during the bride's vows in this wedding. And I'm like, I'm going to piss myself. So I'm sweating, I'm crying, I'm in pain.
Oh my
I'm pinching
God.
fucking my leg, I'm holding my
Yeah.
fucking, and like, I'm going to pee myself. I'm like, don't fucking shut up, and nobody can hear us. Thank fuck. But I'm like, I'm sweating. I can't fucking see, and I'm like, Laura, you need to empty your purse. And she's like, what? Like, I was like, you need to empty your purse right
is that
now.
what you call it?
And Laura's like, she's like, what? I'm like, Laura, what would you rather? I piss myself, we go home and don't see any of this wedding, or I piss in your handbag and buy you a new one. So then, like, Laura's like quietly trying to empty this fucking handbag. That's got, like,
you did That's wrong.
it's got a charger.
He kept going on.
So she's quietly emptying this fucking handbag with, like, her charger, her brush, a full bag of cashews. It's going everywhere, and then, like,
Can of beer.
a can of beer, and I'm sitting there like I am like red in the face. I am pissing in sweat, completely fucking soaked. I didn't even know if I'd pissed myself or not at this point because I'm absolutely ringing. And Laura's fucking stressed out, and she's crying because it's a wedding, and I'm crying because it's a wedding. The people in front of us are like beetroot doubled over, trying not to laugh through this poor lassie's heartfelt fucking vows. And then the humanist goes, right, and that's us. We're just gonna have a wee bit of paperwork break, and I'm like fucking boom, like out of this fucking thing straight down. I don't feel too bad because 5 other guys and 1 lassie jumped up at the same time, running for this fucking toilet. And when we got to the end of it, pronounced man and wife, Scottish kind of hand fast, and it was very nice.
Yeah.
And we went in for the dinner, and we said, Chris, did you hear me during your ceremony? He goes, no, how it happened? I went, thank fuck. And that's the only reason I don't feel bad at all. His wife and himself, they didn't have any idea what was happening in the back right corner of that room. Laura's handbag safely went unpished in. But there we go, that's another fucking stellar nat 1 for yours truly.
I think I'm going to make you buy me a new handbag just because.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Just because, yeah.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for episode 9 of this week's podcast.
Thanks for
Tune in
coming
next
in.
week. Cheers, Rich.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
I would just like to interject though. Laura's face during that entire tirade.
Yeah.
Now, I know this is an audio medium
Yes.
podcast, but it was just an absolute picture of pain and just like
Anger.
And vitriol
so
anger.
much anger and hatred.
I've never been so mortified while happy my pals were getting married, but then also upset that I needed a pee.
Yeah.
And currently, and it's one of the most traumatic things that happened to me, apart from getting a detached retina twice.
I think it's something really beautiful though that you were willing to empty out your handbag
Only after
Yeah.
I asked her
for
3
this-
times.
for this man.
yeah, exactly. I mean, like that has to be in your vows now.
Yes, that's don't worry. There's a mental note that has been taken and marked down.
Yeah.
What?
Hypothetically, if we ever get married,
if we
please
ever get
don't
married.
need to piss in the middle of our vows. That would be horrifying.
Sees a person who suffered. I'll give you nappies
Cool.
just in case.
Just like here's the program, here's the vows, here's the hymns.
10 of men.
Yeah.
Or are you Pampers? Are you brand loyal? It doesn't matter who you go. Oh dear. Rich,
Oh,
I know I apologise.
dear.
Rich, this is the first time you've been on this.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm just going to sit back and listen to you guys. This is
Just
wild.
experience
Yeah,
it
yeah.
firsthand.
Oh, so that's
Definitely. definitely.
So that's my one.
Oh man, alive.
Spectacular. I mean,
Oh.
Rich, we'll let you take the floor with this one. How's your week been? Have you, any critical successes, any critical failures?
Yeah, I've got a good critical success. I cannot top that as a story.
No, no,
just
exactly.
like to
I'm
manage
not even going to
expectations.
attempt
To manage expectations now, I'm not
Yes.
topping that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was down in London doing stuff with my day job, and I managed to shoehorn talking about D&D into a presentation in front of a whole room full of construction industry people.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I called my presentation "Engineers, you're bad at showing off."
Oh.
And it went so well because
Incredible.
firstly, whatever the physical version of clickbait is,
Yeah.
like got people actually into that part of the room, all listening along to me insulting them for a bit, which is great.
That's good power.
That is good power.
And yeah, and wearing I do own other t-shirts, by the way. I was going to say for podcast listeners, which is all of you today.
Yeah.
I am wearing my Rainbow Dice t-shirt
Yeah.
for a ceremonial.
Valid, it's Pride Month,
It's
and
Pride
It's
also
Pride Month, yeah.
Indeed.
D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very convenient t-shirt. I was wearing it down to the event there. So suit jacket on, did Superman reveal, which was
Nice.
great. And then that one then kicks in because I was on a headset mic, I was on one of the Kylie mics, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And suit got immediately tangled. I was taking the suit off for the big reveal of actually this is a presentation all about nerd stuff. And everything got tangled. Had to ask for the sound guy to come up and rescue me.
Oh,
But I styled it out.
exactly. I would give that that's like a 10 because you styled it out. That's like a mid roll. Yeah. Not
Yeah.
quite all the way a fail, but I would fail it nonetheless.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Have you got anything, Greg W?
Nothing this week. It's been a very quiet week.
Very mid.
Very mid.
Very mid.
Very,
I had a bit of a fail.
Ooh.
I would put mine at about a 10.
Okay.
So I have these spurs of inspiration to move furniture in my flat. Like
God.
I just wake
Oh,
up
dear.
and I just look at the furniture and go,
Yeah, we've seen your Instagram. We know you're out in the gym.
yeah. Well, yeah, maybe that's what it was. But
I can't get enough of this. I'm going to lift the couch.
I just start repping, just doing reps with the couch. But I just get bored with it and was like, nah, I need to move it. So I moved my bedroom furniture.
Reps to the couch. Sorry.
just giving it a rep to the couch and that, mate. So I moved my bedroom furniture, kind of put it closer to the window so I could get cross breeze and stuff because it is absolutely a harem still. And then I moved to the front room and started moving stuff around. I was like, no, this doesn't work. Moved it to the next wall. No, this doesn't work. Moved it to the third wall. No, this doesn't work. All right, move it back. Perfect. I spent an hour and a half moving furniture in my front room for it to end up the way it
Oh,
started.
for fuck's sake.
Because physically,
Lovely.
because there is no, there's wee odd shapes and stuff in certain points of the walls and things. The size of my sofa, furniture, like telly unit and stuff, and shelves and whatnot, it just will not work in any other orientation. It only works the way it was. So
Jeez, oh.
I still sort of got over my inspiration to move my furniture,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so
I ended up where I started.
it's like mission accomplished, but okay.
Yeah,
nothing much
exactly.
to show for it.
Yeah, I could have saved 90 minutes of my day, but
Ah, well.
You know what you could have been doing at that time?
being in the variety bar,
Being in the
suck it
variety
all
bar.
straight.
Oh,
Hey.
getting a
Right.
nice
Oh, fantastic.
pint of neck oil,
Tea
or
effort.
for an alcohol-free drinker like yourself, one of the
That's
many
me.
alcohol-free beers
Yep.
They've got a bunch.
that they have.
They do.
No, so get a
I
nice
think-
glass of Kunsel juice.
On the variety.
Or Kunsel juice. Yeah, I had a glass of Kunsel juice upstairs, which is
Right.
water for the uneducated.
Yes.
Awesome.
But yeah, there's many options. You had a alcohol-free version.
Yeah, I had an alcohol-free German something. Didn't catch the name of it, but
Yeah.
it was nice. Yeah.
The Roadhouse alcohol-free Keller beer.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
So yeah, very good.
That
But
did sound very camp.
Thank you.
I mean-
shut up, Rich.
fuck off. Right, we'll move on.
Oh,
We are
dear.
here in the presence of, I would call you YouTube royalty
Yes.
in the D&D sphere.
Well, do you get YouTube royalties? Then you're YouTube royalty, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not,
There you go
not
then.
yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet,
No,
but soon.
Get there.
Soon.
Can't be far off.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
In the Scottish scene, Rich is, very good what he does, very popular around
100%.
the YouTube space of Scotland. So, to give us an elevator pitch, Rich. Oh, that's good.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I did it. I was quite kind of
Yeah.
catchy, you know.
Does that
give
count
us
for the
your-
song this week? Have we sang already yet?
Yeah, we did our harmonise for Laura.
There'll
Yeah.
be another singing point.
Yeah, we'll get to a
so
song somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, we can't really top Niall's full.
No, that's...
Yeah, that was impressive. But yeah, give us your elevator pitch, Rich,
Yes,
on
please.
what you do, what your channel's all about, and the content that you lovingly create.
Excellent. So my name's Rich. My channel is Renegade Rolls. It used to be all about D&D and TTRPGs, and it started initially talking about literally every aspect of the hobby.
Yeah.
What I realized is I'm not interested in every aspect of D&D and TTRPGs, which
okay.
surprised me because I thought, oh, this is great, I love this. But as I started making videos, I realized that it's much more the story side, the narrative, the role play side, which interests me much more than the sort of the technical and nitty gritty side of it.
Yeah.
Also on YouTube, there is so much stuff out there of people with channels say, oh, how to have a AC 30 paladin at level 5.
Yeah.
Follow these steps for this
yeah.
min-maxing and all that stuff. That space already felt filled. So I thought, well, there's a real gap. I'm not seeing other people really focus on storytelling. How do we tell stories in our games? And it's easy to go, oh, we're going to tell the coolest story together. This will be great. But the story can only happen once we're finished. The story is the result of our game. If you go on holiday and say, oh, we're going to have such a great story to tell after this, you're going to put yourself into artificial, like contrived situations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to go,
Yeah.
oh,
Okay,
watch me as I'm standing on top of this boat ready to... wouldn't it be weird if I got in some hijinks here? Likewise, in TTRPGs, if you're putting yourself in that situation, you're going to find your games become artificial, especially as game master. So the story can only be something that comes out at the end. So the challenge that I'm looking into myself and then sharing wisdom as I come across it, how do we create the situations for the epic stories? Maybe not so good as sort of nearly exploding in a wedding.
Yeah, there we go. Aye.
But how do we get those stories to come out? How do we...
Laura's handbag, apparently.
Hey.
Definitely
sorry.
get everyone now.
Quite all right.
Definitely.
And yeah, I'll also speak about other TTRPGs going on. I tend to stay away from the discourse
Yeah.
a bit. If you want to find out what Wizards of the Coast are up to this week, you can find it, but not from me. That's well
No,
covered
that's
by
fair.
others.
That's
Yeah.
Well, I won't spoil a bit. There is a wee question about some discourse that I wanted to ask you later on, but we'll come to that later
Okay, well,
on.
I have views, but we'll keep them to other things.
We like to get the boot in just a tiny bit.
Well, I mean, well,
I
you're,
do.
you're reformed now.
I am.
You
I
are
am
reformed.
reformed. I
Yeah.
can't claim to be as vitriolic as I was previously. I have calmed down
When
a
are
bit.
you ever vitriolic? Like,
Eh,
I've never heard you going on an angry rant before, ever.
Yeah. Never.
What can I say to that?
Yeah.
That's it. Nice.
Connor is a very chill and normal human
zen.
being.
Yeah.
Just normal men.
Just normal, man.
Just innocent men.
Just innocent, man. Very good. Very good.
Oh, man.
So yeah, so you actually said that obviously you kind of encompass a multitude of TTRPG content and whatnot in terms of focusing on storytelling. Do you have a preference? Obviously, you're moved away from D&D specific, but is there a preference to you for a system that you're enjoying that helps sort of drive home that storytelling
Good shout.
kind of narrative that I suppose that you're trying to get home?
So lots of different systems are good in different ways.
Yeah.
Ones which are great for storytelling, or ones which you find almost by nature, by their mechanics, give you opportunities to have good stories, are the ones which actually have rules for storytelling.
Oh, okay.
Which sounds odd. Like you think, oh, we know what we're doing. We can do this. But most folks are not script writers. You're not a movie producer or something. You're maybe not in your day-to-day lives thinking about narrative beats and story arcs and all that stuff. So games which give you a bit of support in figuring that out or how to make that happen are really interesting. There's one called Slug Blasters.
Yes. So our mate Benny, shout out Benny, has been playing the shit out of Slug Blaster.
Yeah.
That seems like a really unique little kind of beast of an RPG. I know Quinn's covers it on his sort of channel as well. It
Yeah,
looks
that's
amazing.
where I first came across it, the Quinn's Quest video.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this looks so good. And I just have not found anyone to play it with yet. But games like that, it gives you...
Come and play it with us.
Okay. God, that was easy. Yeah.
we can. I'm sure we can ask Benny nicely to run a table of it at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the cool things in that is it takes the idea that you want your character's story to progress, but it mechanicizes. That's a word. We'll go with mechanicizes.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
word now.
Yeah. No.
It's happening, and that becomes you spend some tokens. You spend in-game currency in order to progress that. Now, we need rule support for the stuff that we're not good at. At the Paisley FantasyCon Scotland, I was chatting to the sword fighter, like champion historical European martial arts guy, and from his perspective, so many TTRPGs he's not interested in because he can do all that. There's no fantasy in being a master sword fighter.
Sure.
So he wouldn't need the rule support for combat, but you would need it for the social narrative, the storytelling side.
Okay.
That's quite smart. And I actually like the bit that he was saying as well about like swords being really slow in like TTRPGs in general, because he's like flicking about with his wrist and he's like getting 4 slashes in about 6 seconds flat, and you're like, mate, you're lucky if you get 4 in a fighter at level 5. But
Exactly. No, fair point.
Yeah. I think another good game, another kind of different example of how like story can be built into a system is a game called Brindlewood Bay.
Oh, is that? I think that's a wee Laura game, is it not?
I don't have it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I know Chum Dom has got that. And that's, it's like your Murder She Wrote, Agatha Christie, you're a bunch of wee grannies.
Yeah, you're little old ladies solving crime.
Oh my god, I want it.
As a premise, like you already know what you're in for. So the idea is that you go about, you solve crimes. Each character's got a cozy style and a cozy activity.
Oh wow!
And the first
That's me all over.
That
My
is a really
cozy
good game.
style, hand knit shit. Cozy hobby, hand knitting shit. I want it.
She lives in a crocheted house with crocheted cats.
Yeah.
Sits down for a crochet dinner with a crochet cup of tea.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds
yeah,
fun.
one of the really cool things in that though is that you can again spend in-game currency in exchange for telling a bit of backstory about yourself. So say a dice rolls come up and you don't like where it's going.
Yeah.
You can spend a point to it's things like narrate a scene that you remember fondly with your sadly dead husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's like lovely bits of tragedy and stuff built into this quite wholesome system. There's also a huge, like, there's a meta plot going on about eldritch horror and Cthulhu shit.
I mean,
So,
obviously.
yeah.
I think you got to pick this up, Laura.
It's very
That
good.
sounds
Highly
fantastic.
recommended.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like Honey Heist, but for old women. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honey Heist with like layers and tea and crochet. It also, like, that kind of stuff reminds me of, there's a game called Heart that has these amazing mechanics where they've got beats built into the kind of character sheets and stuff as well, and basically your beats are little narrative sort of nodes that you can aim for. They're relatively vague, so you can't be like, oh, I'm definitely going to find a shit ton of treasure in the next dungeon. Nothing like that. It's like, what do you want your character to get? Like, maybe you want your character to get vengeance or redemption in some way,
Yeah.
but you tell the DM that. So then they've got like basically like this kind of like cheat sheet behind their screen of like, okay, well, this character is kind of looking for this character is kind of looking for that, which is one of the few games that I've seen that has rules for a storytelling sort of thing. So they kind of, it sounds a bit kind of railroady, like, oh, like, okay, in the next dungeon I gotta give this guy a shit ton of gold. It's like, no, it's more like maybe he is going to get redemption, but maybe not in the way that he sort of wants. Like, it's Heart's a really unique sort of beast. We'll probably talk about that on another episode, but that's the only thing I can think of where I've seen story-specific rules, because now that you've mentioned it, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I'd say Daggerheart has bits and pieces like that as well.
Yeah.
My favourite bit in Daggerheart is the character creation and the character connections. So instead of just saying, okay, who are you? It's who are you to these people? What is the connection between you and like the rest of your group? So as players, if we were sitting around a table, we'd be asking, hey, why does my character hold your hand at night?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or what is one secret that you've promised to keep for me?
See, I like that because it flings a bit of kind of fodder in straight away, and it gives the players like, oh, they're going to like straight away you're taking it off of the character specifically, and then the other character's relationship with
Definitely.
it. That's pretty cool.
Girl by Moonlight has a similar mechanic. It kind of uses that kind of builds connections between. You can have up to 4 different, like, obviously, because in Girl by Moonlight you're meant to have 4 players in a party, so you have a connection with all 3 others, and that, to use your own term, mechanizes that relationship. So you actually use that as like a resource throughout the game.
It's the same with Blades, because obviously Blades is
It's built from the similar system.
Shout out fucking Blades,
like
man.
one of the things that I mean, like you said, there's no real right. Here's a thing to help players role play and things like that. Therefore, it. One of the things I've been doing with Blades is just I leave the table. I just go, right, there's the plan. Come up with a plan.
Yeah.
Like here's the goal. You guys come up with a plan. I'm going to go and grab a pint. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And literally, like, they'll have spent the entire 10 minutes just sitting at the table talking with each other. And it's like, they've got no idea. They're role-playing
Yeah, exactly.
with each other. And I've just walked away because I want to be surprised as well when it comes to it.
It's like my work here is done.
Well, that's it. That's the initial holy grail final objective as a DM. You want to be able to, again, like Greg says, either straight up leave a table, or be sitting behind your screen and just say nothing for a bit and just watch your players just like come alive.
Because Blades has got the other wee bit. Because if I can talk about it, if that's all right, the Renegade game of Blades upstairs in Variety Bar.
Variety Bar.
And basically one of the mechanics is you've got an ally and a foe, and I basically had wrote it in, like one of the twists is it was they had to crash a wedding, and one of the bridesmaids is the ex of somebody at the party. Whoa. So I rolled my random D8 trick. Who's it pointing at? It's pointing at a player, Adam. Shout out Adam.
Yes.
And I was basically like, bridesmaid your ex, by the way. He's like, I'm going to win her back. He then went on his own mission.
That's incredible.
To win her back, and that, like, they almost forgot what the main mission was because they were like, no, he's going to win her back.
Did he win her back?
Yes.
Yay! Woo! We love a happy ending.
For legal reasons, I can't say anymore.
Because the story continues.
The story continues.
Love's Labour's one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, I've wrote it into the next session as to what's going to happen.
Phenomenal.
With this one. So it could be pretty good.
Fantastic.
So you touched on Daggerheart,
yes.
Obviously being Critical Role, aka Darrington Press's recent creation. You've run the system, you have hands-on experience. I looked at it a little bit at UKGE. Obviously, everyone's kind of seen and heard a little bits about it.
Yeah, we spoke about it last week.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a chat about it last week on our kind of, my recap of UKGE. What is your sort of expectations for it going forward, and then how are you kind of finding it as a system as it is now?
Ooh. So I ran a poll to find out what other people were thinking on this exact question.
Oh, okay.
So I asked people, in 3 years' time, what will Daggerheart be? Will it be this is better than D&D, it's the new big system?
Yeah.
It's good, it's okay, yeah, lots of people are playing it, but it's nothing replacing D&D. It's like, oh yeah, it's got its fans, but nothing else. And then the last option was, I think I've got a PDF, I'm not sure. And the results were interesting. There was maybe 10% of folk were saying this is going to be the new hotness, this is going to be the new really huge thing.
Yeah.
Most people were saying that D&D is too sort of ensconced to be to be toppled anytime soon, especially with sort of the cultural reach and sort of reach outside the hobby and stuff.
It's the big brand. Do you know what I mean? It's Pepsi Cola, it's McDonald's. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. But what's interesting is lots of people were saying, it's just not for them.
Yeah, which is fair.
And I think it's divisive in a way which very few mainstream TTRPGs are.
Oh, okay.
So compared to like any of the other sort of biggish ones that are sort of coming out or been out recently.
Yeah.
So things like Shadow Dark. It's a old school kind of game, but it's very clear that's who it's for.
Yeah.
Daggerheart is almost being plugged. Well, maybe not intentionally, but the hype around it is almost this is going to be for everyone.
Oh yeah.
And then the crunchy.
That's what's kind of getting me with it, because you've 100% stolen the question that I was teasing you with earlier on. My question was because someone pushed. I saw a TikTok randomly that said this, and it says that is Daggerheart going to be the Pathfinder of this generation's D&D, where it's going to be like it becomes bigger.
The kind of A versus B, the sort of Bayern Munich versus
the main competitor.
Your Real Madrid versus Barcelona kind of thing.
And it's one of those ones, because like my opinion is, and I said it, and I'm saying it in the nicest way, like I think that the Critical Role community has kind of became cult-like.
It's not kind of, it is 1,000,000% a cult.
And this is me, and when I'm saying this, I am a wrestling fan. I'm a former pro wrestler. I'm aware that I am in a cult as well.
Takes one to know
I
one.
worship a guy who thinks he's an iguana.
Game recognizes
Mr.
game.
Iguana!
Mr. Iguana!
Yes!
He's one of the few wrestlers that I know of.
Yes, Laura! This is how it begins.
But anyway, yes.
Oh, no.
So that was my thinking was, like, this game, I think, is going to have that popular surge because of the quote-unquote cult mentality of Critical Role and things like that there for it. Looking at it, I think it is going to be a good game, but I think you're right, it needs to be for a certain group of players. Like, if you've got 5 players who love roleplay and they want to tell the story, they're not interested in, can I kill this dragon, can I do this, can I do that? They just want to tell their story.
Yeah.
I think for a game like that, unbelievable.
Yeah. I think that is actually a large number of TTRPG fans in general. Who maybe been underserved, or maybe there's been like a lot of like the story time, the role play side is never the focus in a D&D game. Simply because like even if you look at how much space in the rule book's taken up, then
by mechanics alone,
by mechanics, and obviously all the
really
spells
good
and
point.
things. Obviously Daggerheart is, I think I've not done a look in the pages yet, but it works out that I'd say so many of the game mechanics are looking to incorporate story beats as well. And that's what's interesting.
Yeah.
So like one of the downtime activities is you can gain a hope, you can gain some meta currency in the game if you have a conversation with your friend.
Oh, okay.
It's really quite wholesome like that.
Yeah.
So I've got a video coming out on Monday.
Oh, there you go.
In
Big
fact,
plug.
I've got a whole load of things coming out on Monday because I ran Daggerheart for a group of people who'd never played a TTRPG before in their lives.
Oh, wow,
Right,
okay.
So one of the things I've been doing over the last year is I've been going to improv classes,
Oh, amazing.
which is equal parts awesome and terrifying.
We've talked about this as a group before as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, improv is massive. Yeah.
And so I got some of my friends who I've sort of met from the courses on that. They came along with almost zero TTRPG knowledge or experience before and just jumped in.
Yeah.
So filmed that at the Gamer Club, which is about 100 yards over that way from where we are.
Yeah.
And that's going out online on Monday.
Awesome.
So it's, running Daggerheart for brand new players. And I'm doing an accompanying YouTube video as well with it. It's going to be, is Daggerheart the new TTRPG for beginners?
Oh, okay.
Question mark. And then
Yeah.
probably one of those like tier list.
Yeah.
Things as well.
Okay.
Oh, I do
Yeah.
love a tier list. I can't lie.
Yeah.
But the thing I'd say that for beginners, I think Daggerheart's got an awful lot going for it.
Yeah.
The things it's missing, if I start with that, is it doesn't have the huge online third-party support that D&D has yet.
Sure, okay.
And that obviously has to take a while to build up.
Yeah.
But for onboarding, for getting people to start playing a game, for having everything you need to actually play as a player on a character sheet in front of you and then a couple of cards around the sides, you don't have to look at lots of pages in the rules. You don't have to be skimming around different places, and everyone can just be focused on the table.
Right.
And I think with lots of things, even with like if you think of like in sales and marketing and stuff, you've got that funnel and you lose people every step of the way. And you can lose people even if your game sounds silly.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have thought, oh yeah, I'd love to play a game, but Dungeons and Dragons, that's an odd name.
Yeah.
Whereas if I introduce them to maybe Mothership
Yeah.
or something to start with, or something with a cool name, Draw Steel, perhaps when that comes
Yes,
out, then I was talking to a friend about this and like how Metallica is a ridiculous name for a band. But when you stop and think about it, it's like, oh, what should we call our metal band? Metallica, great. And but they've always become so entrenched and like so part of the genre and everything else that you don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
In the same way as Dungeons and Dragons, like, okay, it's maybe not the best name, but every single part of the process, once you've decided it's not a stupid name and you give it a try, every single part of that you can lose people. So the fact Daggerheart does so well with its really concise like character creation, the fact it's very collaborative as well around the table. You're not just disappearing off and then coming to the table with it. Everyone kind of builds them together. I think a lot of people who have thought, oh, I'll maybe try something, will give it a go. And I can imagine people sticking with it.
Yeah.
Because it's also got all the charm and wholesomeness and everything else that you might be looking for.
So I'm glad we've got you because we did touch on Daggerheart last time.
Yeah.
We've not got any hands-on experience. You've got quite a fair bit, which is good because, like, we are wanting to kind of like talk about it and find out, look, if it has got legs for sort of longevity. I didn't realise it had so much sort of like story-based sort of mechanics in it.
Yeah.
And I'm more kind of coming round to like sort of trying it
I think
now.
it's that thing of like, as you kind of touched on a little bit, Rich, is like if you want 3.5, if you want Pathfinder, if you want a crunchy system so that you are playing a game, so it's kind of like if you enjoy EVE Online because you like spreadsheets, you like economy, you like making money out of nothing.
I'm getting shouted at by Russians in
Yeah,
null
exactly.
sector trying mine.
That's a very specific thing that you enjoy, and you will find systems that you enjoy from it. If you enjoy collaborative storytelling, then Daggerheart and other systems that you've mentioned are far more tiered toward your.
Fuck EVE Online, man.
So, but yeah, and I
So
mean,
bad.
it's quite an interesting conversation to have because there are games that maybe sit in that sort of weird grey area that they can kind of fly between either, because that at that point is purely dependent on the GM. Whoever's running your game will then define how it kind of leans. Is it going to lean more into the RP? Is it going to lean more into the mechanics?
Well, I think we see that as a sort of a microcosm, as a sort of slice at the game nights that we do and stuff as well,
absolutely.
because it's like, okay, what it's like the chums will show up and we've got a lot of regulars, which is lovely.
Yeah.
It'd be like, right, what's Greg playing? Something probably fucking mental. Is he playing Paranoia? Right, and you'll get a specific type of player that wants to go and play Paranoia with Greg, which maybe wouldn't hit as different if it was Paranoia ran by myself.
Yeah.
But then you get like, oh, Laura's running Honey Heist, so and then Laura's going to get very Laura coded Honey Heist players.
Yeah.
But I've ran Honey Heist and I've had like a totally different table of people
Yeah.
at my
Absolutely.
table. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. One question I'm going to try and find out the answer to is, can you dungeon crawl in Daggerheart?
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
So I've picked up, I managed to get a copy off eBay of Keep on the Borderlands, the 1980 Gary Gygax written classic adventure.
I've had that one.
Okay.
I think I've got that one. I've got like a
A
couple.
relic of the
I've
past.
got a couple
Wow.
of like, old 80s ones that I
Yeah.
managed to find in an Oxfam in Giffnock.
My
one time.
uncle,
Of all places, right? It's weird as anything, but yeah, I think
That's
I've got that one.
great.
my uncle
I've got that in
Brad,
the original tomb.
he bestowed upon me a copy of the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Pardon me,
Draggers?
It's a different one. It's
Yeah.
it's a bit underground for it. Sorry, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Game Master's Manual has old character sheets of Tommel the Elf, because Elf was a class
Yeah.
back then, and the original module for the Tomb of Annihilation.
I've got Tomb of Annihilation, and I've got the same one that you're talking about. It's the
Oh.
one that covers the Yawning Portal, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, it's the
And
same
like
one.
holding
Okay.
this
Yeah.
thing was like an almanac.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and, I,
yeah.
and I read through the because we were thinking of doing a one shot for it once, and I was like, "This is too crunchy. Nobody's enjoying this."
This is
It's
where
just-
Connor's like worshipping it, and mine's is currently in a box in the dog cupboard that we've
Oh
got
man,
in the
I
house.
put it in a
That's
poly,
where I keep
I put it
mine.
in a Polly Pocket inside another Polly Pocket, just so it was like, like should
Mine
be
is
safe.
literally in like a storage container in the dog
Oh,
cupboard.
Greg, no.
Yep, that's where it is.
Well, speaking of questions,
Speaking
right?
of questions,
Yes.
sorry, Rich, we've got a
Let's-
guest on it. We're talking to ourselves here.
No,
so
so
bad.
Shocking behaviour.
we reached out to our wonderful Discord community. Get in the Discord if you aren't already.
Get in
I'm
the
already
Discord,
I've met
guys.
them. Nice
You
folks.
have
Yeah.
indeed, because you actually sort of continue the Daggerheart chat. You ran a game for some of the folk out the Discord.
Karina and Dave.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they
yeah, I
joined in.
remembered, yeah.
Shout out Karina and Dave.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, we reached out to the groups to see, did they have any questions for you as a sort of a vast knowledge of wisdom and experience in DMing and GMing and playing as well. We have some
To-
questions.
To counteract you there,
Oh,
I'm not actually that experienced in TTRPGs.
oh,
This
it's
is
all
the-
coming
it's
out
all
now.
up front.
You
Yes,
could have
exclusive here.
you could have fooled us.
The first video that I did on my channel was how I missed 20-something years of TTRPGs. So I only got into it
Oh god, I wish
when
I missed 20 years a day. Like, save
Yeah,
me the trauma.
I got so much done. It was great.
We could all be sitting here with mortgages and cardigans and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like 2.3 children, all that kind of stuff. Nah,
dear.
D&D dice, yeah.
But I only got into the hobby around, what's that, about 7-8 years ago.
Wow,
So,
okay.
yeah, 2017, 2018 or so.
That's really much more recent than I would have thought.
Yeah. Obviously, then I fell in love on the spot and just consumed
Yeah.
all of it,
Yeah.
as you do. It fell hard.
goes.
But so I don't necessarily have that same big experience as, I don't know, look at like guys like Professor Dungeon Master on YouTube,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
who's been doing it since the 80s and has this
Completely.
really deep knowledge
Yeah.
of the hobby. So something I did when I first started the channel was to say, well, I'm not as experienced. How can I get better? What can I do to improve?
Yeah.
And so I was looking at like different aspects of the game. So I was talking about that's actually how I got into the improv stuff, as it happens.
right. Yeah.
As something that's really recommended for game masters is to try and get better at improvising, thinking on your feet, but also
Yeah.
things like tactics and strategy and story crafting and all that kind of stuff. Everything that comes together to try and make myself to like feel valid among the
Yeah.
YouTuber
No, totally.
YouTuber elite
that's,
there.
That's always a problem
I
with
mean,
content
you're
creation,
talking
isn't
to
it? So-
like forever DMs. Like,
Yes.
we need that validity. We need the players to come in after we've had a game. Now, did you
Yeah.
enjoy yourselves? Please tell me I'm good.
Yeah, for
Like,
fuck's
we
sake.
all need that validation.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, if you're a player at a table, doesn't matter whether it's with us at Roll With It or anyone, tell your fucking
please.
GM that you had a good time. Christ on a bike, they will be desolate until you do.
Please do, because every time I run games, nobody says they enjoyed themselves. I go home and cry myself to sleep.
Oh no!
How
Not that
could you do
bad,
that?
but also like
How?
the panic, the anxiety is real.
Listen to the fucking guilt trip in there. I was like, That's bad.
Tell me I'm good.
Laura, you're wonderful, GM.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
You
welcome.
wouldn't have full tables every time you DM if you weren't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there
Laura,
you
you're
go.
the best of us.
Exactly.
If the Joker was going to torture
Thank
one of
you.
us to go bad, it's going to be you.
Oh God.
Absolutely. So, yes, does anyone have any questions that they immediately want to pull out of the Discord?
I've got one, and
Yeah.
it is because I've seen a good few of the videos where you like tackle these sort of like kind of questions of like how do you do this at a table, how do you do that at a table, like stuff that's not the kind of what's the word, the kind of go-to sort of standard of like kind of play styles and stuff. We've
Yeah.
got one from Matt, aka Cool Ranch, aka Matt. How's it going, Matt? And he would say, what would you use as a non-musical bard, i.e. a bard that doesn't have something as an instrument or music to cast spells, like so it's just something totally like away from the main sort of thing as a bard, which I think is a pretty good one to start with.
Definitely.
So, non-musical bard.
Non-musical bard.
The Eloquence Bard would be the way to go.
Fuck, well, yeah, there you
if,
go.
if not including that, but Chaucer in A Knight's Tale,
Oh.
Naked Paul Bettany.
Oh, for
That's-
fuck! Oh, perfect! Yeah,
That's a really
that's
good
a
Absolutely.
shout and a half.
Stunning.
That's a
I
fucking
like it.
belter.
That's better than my answer the other week, which was ventriloquist.
He's blonde. He's pissed. He'll see you in the list. Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein. Oh, what a
And
fucking
there's our
film.
musical number this week.
Wow.
But yeah, like we're saying this, like I played I say a non-musical bard, but he did have the musical instrument. 'cause
He did, yeah.
have the Horenkar, which is the Mongolian
Yeah.
horse fiddle.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
I was very into the Who. Who?
Yeah.
He was even named after them as well. It was HU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mongolian metal band.
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, they're really
They're
good.
ridiculously good.
More metal than your Moz kettle. Fucking, it's so cool.
They're unbelievably cool. But yeah, like it was. He was College of Swords, so he was
That's right.
that his whole thing was like swordsman, and I kind of had based it on the guy from Game of Thrones in the first season, the swordmaster that teaches Arya.
Cyril Farrell.
Cyril Farrell.
The water dancer, the first sword of Bravos.
Yes, that's who I kind of based it off of. Him with a bit of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the entire backstory was Hamlet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a cultured gathering here. This is
know,
nice.
I know.
Yeah.
I did see one as well, which
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't jump on from the top rope, where basically somebody was playing a bard as if they were a wrestler. So their bardic inspiration was basically like bigging up their mates.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, come on,
Cutting
you
a
can do
promo.
this, let's go. Like all that kind of stuff. Like all, so they had no musical instrument at all, where they occasionally beat their chest. And I was like, that's an interesting one as well. I like seeing people taking classes and then not
Yeah.
using the main class thing to play that class.
I
Right,
re-
you used to talk about Shazam. Is that Paul Heyman? Is Paul Heyman like a bard like that? This is
It's pretty much, yeah, like anyone that's like a manager.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant.
My name is Paul Heyman. Yeah, definitely.
Right, back in the room. Sorry.
So, another question that I've seen in the Discord is from Waterbase Nick, aka Boatman.
Nick!
Big Nick.
Water-based neck.
We love
Waterbase
Nick.
Nick.
Is he the tallest member of the Roleplay community? I
It's-
think.
No,
It's
Big
up
Ross.
Oh, fuck, I written off actually.
It's,
Yeah.
He's no far off, but
He's
he's
not
up there.
fat. It's been him and Big Ross.
Aye, he's a odd giants. Fuck me.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But Nick has a question for you, Rich. Is what are your favourite settings or settings that you would like to play? So not
Nice.
agnostic of system, but in a particular theme or setting.
One that really surprised me with how good it was. If anyone's played Index Card RPG, I don't know if you had the pleasure.
No.
So Index Card RPG is by Runehammer, which very like the best indie TTRPG makers. They do all kinds of interesting stuff. Index Card RPG is like simplified D&D basically, and great for beginners, great for folk getting into the hobby. But what's really cool is that has I think 4 settings within it.
Ooh, okay.
And on Burns Night last year, I ran a ancient Scottish themed game where the party meet lots of Scottish monsters from
Yeah.
history. So
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, so like there's-
Bavinci and Kelpies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they met a wild haggis as well.
Oh, of course.
Yay.
I like it. Laura's like, oh, yeah,
Laura stopped playing Bellatrix there for a second.
Not playing black.
She's not playing Bellatrix. She's actually
Yeah.
googling the creator that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Just so that we can kinda
But yeah,
have
the setting of that. So this sort of a standard fantasy one, but they've got this sort of ancient or primordial setting. It's called Blood and Snow, which is like pre-civilization. Everyone's in tribes. I think you've got fire, but there's
Yeah.
also magic, and it all kind of comes together. But
Oh,
it's
I do like that.
but just as a setting, just as a starting off point, it works so nicely.
Yeah.
And to bring that into like a Scottish setting, to bring in everything which makes it sort of fun together, became awesome, and that was just a ton of fun to give a go.
Hell yeah.
And that setting could easily work system agnostic as well.
Yeah, to just drop it into whatever mechanics.
I think I've got a cream for that.
Well, an ancient one, you don't. That's not a really kind of a heard of one, really, because that's as a sort of setting, like kind of like going really low tech, really kind of back ancient kind of way. Well, that's pretty cool. It's relatively fresh.
Because I think that is the thing with like a lot of D&D systems or TTRPG systems in general, is that they are all focused on like items, mechanics. Like you think about your cyberpunks, your steampunks. It's all about like how can we take the technology of then and make it something?
Sure.
It's still very technology based. So yeah, stripping it all the way back and basically relying on survival skill alone.
It's like Gognar's got a stone.
Yeah,
He's the only one
I've
that's
got stone.
Aye.
I've got stone, mate. Fire. Yeah. Something along those lines. But yeah.
There's another game coming out. I backed it on Kickstarter, made by a Scottish creator whose name I've currently forgotten.
But
the game's called Pale Tides.
Yes!
yes!
Thank you. Canavan.
Yes, indeed. Oh, we've talked about that before.
Yes.
I am so excited for that.
I cannot wait.
Yeah,
I think Greg C is responsible for a fucking uptake.
I am a little bit. I am patient zero of some folks in the Discord of like going, oh my god, you mentioned this and now I want it. So
that is some unique sounding.
It's so good. But yeah, again,
goodness.
kind of sort of witchy based. It's very sort of like your coven is a mechanic in of itself. So yeah, it's
so fucking cool.
Can't wait.
It's that I think the common theme to it is I really like that low fantasy.
Yes.
I'm not interested in like being a level 20. I'm not that power fantasy of running up and headbutting God.
No, I'm right there with you. I like kind of low fantasy, low fantasy, high stakes. Like I mean,
based in reality.
You all know I love a Borg.
Yeah.
So I love like if you fuck up in Borg, you just die. That's it.
But then I think that's the thing though, is that there's a difference between, as in like high fantasy, as you say, Rich, is like the sort of like magic will answer everything.
Yes.
And in the Borgs, it's like, well, no,
Aye.
it's still fantasy because it's not based on any level of reality. Sure, there's real life elements to it, but it still kind of pulls you into the sense of, is this physically capable?
I do know what you mean when you see these videos where it's like the like super specced out party.
Yeah.
You've got the paladin of whatever the fuck. You got the wizard who can cast spells blinking his eyes and they're fighting, like you say, God or some ridiculous mountain-sized creature. I'm like, is it cool? Sure. I only think it's cool in a way if I was watching a Critical Role or something doing it. I would hate to run something like that as a DM.
Completely.
And I don't think I'd enjoy it as a player. Like, I'm dishing out 300 damage around, but the thing's got like 9,000 hit. Cool.
Yeah.
Just,
There's a game for that. It's called Warhammer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was going to say, because that's the reason you play Astra Militarum.
Well,
is
yes.
You just like guys.
We don't call them Astra Militarum, we call them Imperial Guard.
Whatever.
I just like dudes. Like, even like when I play like
just
stuff
a
like
normal guy.
Rich
Connor just wants to play a normal guy.
Yeah.
For Paisley.
I like
with a sword.
not so much for Paisley. I just like I like just playing
For fantasy Paisley.
For fantasy Paisley.
With swords.
I like but see even when you look at like your Mass Effects,
Yeah.
your Dragon Ages, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like
Isn't Paisley still in the Dragon Age?
It might as well be. Fuck.
the Reapers hit there first. They knew that was the biggest threat. Sorry. But like I like just playing as the soldier or the warrior because I much prefer, like you're saying, this fantasy of fighting God. I like the indomitable human spirit of just a guy with a spear.
Yep.
Do you mean like he's fighting for his pals and his friends back home? He's not the chosen one. He hasn't got dragon blood in his veins or anything. He's just a dude that wants to fight. And everything that he's fighting against is way scarier and way harder, but he's still got the brawn and the kind of like. That's why I like playing the Imperial Guard or your soldier in Mass Effect or your human fighter in like Dragon Age. Or something. That's just me.
It's very much the Jack Burton and like Ash. Like they're just guys.
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
Yeah, I was going to say that's something I really like about like fantasy. Well, rather, I like about sci-fi literature and films and things. The people themselves tend to just be regular folks.
Yeah.
But in fantasy, everyone's bloodlines and all this.
Totally.
Yeah.
And in most sci-fi stories, it's people who are just being human, just being regular folks. But solving their problems. Every Star Trek episode, it's not solved by, I'm the special one, I can solve this.
Yeah.
It's by thinking creatively as a team.
completely.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, like, in Star Trek Adventures, the system, they have that extended task thing. So, like, as you say, it's going to take multiple departments. You'll need a bit of help from engineering to make the thing. You'll need a bit of help from the tactical team to install it. You'll need a bit of help from medical to make sure it's not going to singe somebody's eyes out. And then you'll need a bit of help from command to actually, like, issue the order so that everyone's coherent and doing the same thing. So, it's that same kind of idea of
Get the boys from
collaboration.
engineering to get it planet side and make sure it doesn't blow up. Like, there's just all that
Yeah,
fun stuff.
exactly. So, yeah, definitely. Anyone any other questions that they want to shout out?
I'm not looking at my phone tonight.
So I've got
After shouting at Connor last week, I'm not looking at my phone tonight.
I've got one from our fantastically multicoloured haired pal Adele.
Oh yeah, shout out
and
Adele.
she says, what are your top tips for people who want to start DMing but feel like they lack the capability for creating a good story plot for players to engage with, or just feel that they're going to flop at it?
Wow,
Really good question.
definitely.
The challenge is to avoid trying to tell a story. Like I was saying earlier,
Okay.
if you go in and say, "Oh, we're going to have the best story," you're going to come unstuck. For any fans of Sly Flourish, Lazy Dungeon Master, the idea of secrets and clues is a really big one. This one comes from him, where instead of plotting out every step of the adventure and, oh yes, they'll meet the big baddie as he tries to drop the diamond into the volcano. If that's a story that you've already got coming up, that's something that you think should happen in order to tell a good story.
Okay.
Instead, you should be looking at the motivations for the characters, looking at the motivation for the NPC. That might be what this big bad wants to happen, but at any stage of the character's story, they could get in the way of that. Someone could roll nat 20 against them and push them off a cliff,
Fuck, we've had that happen before.
and that whole thing falls apart.
Yep.
So it's the ability to figure out what would be an interesting challenge for the group and then to be flexible. So when we get to the secrets and the clues, the list of secrets I might have about the big bad evil one, they could have like 10 different things about them which could get revealed at different points. And it's the uncovering of that, the investigation of that, which tends to be the character's story. In Lord of the Rings, how much screen time in the original trilogy, I'm not talking about the prequels, how much screen time does Sauron get?
Like next to none.
Yeah, because the story isn't about them.
No, it's about the Fellowship.
Yeah, the story is about the hobbits, these little guys, exploring and learning about the world.
Yeah, beyond Hobbiton.
And it's also why Lord of the Rings is told through their eyes. It'd be a very different story if it was told through Gandalf's eyes or through Aragorn, for example.
True.
Because the audience is seeing the world develop along with the hobbits. So you've almost got, it's so many fantasy stories have this little person from quite a village going into a big bad world, because it's a really good vehicle for people to learn about this fantasy world and to help your world building. So if you focus on that, if you just focus on the characters that you're starting with and some antagonist that wants to do something to upset that balance or whatever it is, you'll find it a lot easier. You'll find it a lot easier to go with the flow and to follow where your players are taking the story, because the story belongs to everyone. If you try and craft it from the beginning, you'll find yourself in difficulty, or you'll find either you'll railroad and say, nope, I've got this whole map set, I've this meticulous volcano that I've made, like Blue Peter style, ready to go. I've got all this ready to go. And then the party do something different, like, oh, they've gone this way instead of that. And suddenly that's not useful. So you think, oh, I'll just push them along that way anyway so I can use my cool thing. Instead, having that as an idea, as one possibility, but don't plan for that until the party are literally outside the door and ready to go. And so it's an odd mindset, and it means not planning detailed in a detailed way very far ahead. But once you do that, I find my prep is a fraction of what it was, and the campaigns and the sort of games I'll run will be really satisfying because it focuses on where the players are taking it.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I prep.
Because we talked about this before. Because you can write yourself into a corner.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm guilty of. I've done it a few times before.
Yeah,
and fucking Adele herself has absolutely unravelled one of my things because I had my volcano fight that I'd written in, and she did a thing that absolutely fucked 3 weeks of planning. So like we've talked about that before. Just funny that it was Adele's question, but because my way of writing now is I half plan everything. Yeah. Because like say you want the players to kind of unravel and come to their own sort of kind of plot points to see what they want to do.
Well, it's really funny because
there's some fucking gold for you, Adele. Anyway, so there we go. Great question.
I ran a session on Wednesday of one of my home campaigns, and I did zero DM prep. because where they were going was to a central underground city with someone that was going to give them the information they wanted. So it was basically a lore fishing exercise.
Nice.
Why am I going to prep stuff when I've already written my homebrew world into existence? I have the information they want, and as you say, Rich, it's more what questions are they going to ask, and that's just then what I give them. I don't have to do much beyond describing the city, describing the person, giving him a mad accent, because of course it's me.
Yeah. What was his accent? Do the accent.
On the
his
spot.
accent?
On the spot.
Oh, he was like a wee English old man. He was like, "Oh yes, I can answer your question. Yes, not a problem.
Where'd Greg go?
I will inform you of the information that you require."
Fantastic.
But yeah,
It was a wee bit open all hours there. Granville.
it's full candles.
But yeah, like if we,
Sorry.
oh goodness me. But yeah, if we go back to what Richie was saying, like yeah, you've kind of got that. Like what it was reminding me of was the SAS. Like this is going to be a weird turn, but basically the SAS battle plan and how they train and condition the soldiers to think is right. Who am I fighting? What do they want? How do I stop them getting what they want?
You're disrupting their OODA loop.
Aye.
That's
That's
a good
exactly what it is. So it's
Yeah.
like, right, who's this character? What do they want? What can I do to stop them getting what they want?
Yeah.
And then it's up to the character to then
Just to figure
do
it
the
out
rest.
from there.
It's pretty much what I says in the Discord last night to Billy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but Blades, yeah.
I
Definitely.
love watching Billy come alive and get. You can see his wee brain going like
He's going to be a spectacular DM,
Abso-fucking-lutely.
especially for Blades.
Yep.
Billy, shout out.
Shout out Billy.
Yep.
Well, and if you've got something, sorry.
Oh yeah, the only thing I was going to add is if you are nervous about GMing for the first time, it's only scary once.
True.
It's if you can
Good
do
shout.
it, if you can do it among friends, if you can find people who are aware of this, I wouldn't go jumping into an open table, but get
That's
a couple of
ballsy,
friends and say,
yeah.
get a couple of friends and say, hey, can I try this? And the trick is to only have one baby at a time. So we're saying, okay, I'm jamming for the first time, but let's all do a system that we know so we can help each other, and potentially even using either characters that you know or something that you've pre-gen, so there's no you're not having to do that learning as well, so you're only having to balance one set of plates at the same time. But yeah, go for it, and you learn so much more by just trying it once than you will by listening to wise people on the internet.
Oh, absolutely. Well, unless it's yourself, Rich. Unfortunately, time is time.
Time is time.
Time is time.
Oh,
That is
that's deep. That.
that is-
Wow.
You get a T-shirt
Yeah.
that says "Time is time."
It goes,
Time
it
is
goes
time.
quick, doesn't it?
Got it.
That is,
know,
yeah,
really
we're not
quickly.
far short of an hour, so we can only but thank you, Rich, for coming on. And
Thank you very much.
I actually think collectively we have all learned from the
So
learning
much.
tree that you are.
Absolutely.
I want you on every week. Like you can come join the team.
Just a guest
All right.
segment.
Come back on
The
again.
5
Aye.
ever do.
It doesn't have the same ring.
It's fine.
Sorry, Rich.
We'll make sure one of us has an accident.
If you've had an accident at work.
I'll piss
God, that's
myself mile
ominous.
out.
But Rich, final questions, right? Where can folks find your work?
Absolutely.
Please.
Right.
You obviously dropped that you've got stuff coming up next Monday, but where can we find you?
So I'm mostly on YouTube. It's if you search for Renegade Rolls, you'll find me. If you're listening to this bit in the future, there'll actually be 2 channels because I know
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
Sorry.
Thank you. Because I'll have my main channel, which is all about GM advice, the kind of stuff I spoke about this evening, and then a separate one just dedicated to actual play.
Nice.
Very nice.
So
Spicy.
from Monday next week, that is where you'll find the actual play of me running Daggerheart with my non-nerd lovely friends, and hopefully lots of games in the future, including Can You Dungeon Crawl in Daggerheart, but also lots of games in other systems, and trying to make that into a regular thing.
Awesome.
Well, if you ever want a wee group of players, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
we'd
you can
be
have the
willing
forever
to-
DMs
There's a
on.
bunch of fucking play-starved people sitting right in front of you that never get to fucking roll dice much.
Well, I mean,
Well, Laura and Greg, so you get to play because people actually like them. Me and Greg W are
Yeah.
starved. We don't get to play.
People like Greg W.
I play. No.
Oh, but do they like me? Is that it? Fair enough,
I
actually.
didn't say anything.
I've got a home game I play in, so I'm
Yeah, me too.
I'm doing
Yeah.
good, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
But no, anytime you want to come back, Rich, because you are,
Yeah.
Yes,
like I
please.
say, a font of knowledge.
100%.
absolutely.
Thank you guys, appreciate that.
Well, hey.